Fluttering Shadows by Stephen Meehan.
My army surrendered?
Naaman slammed his fist against his throne, the wood shuddering beneath the blow, and snarled,
What did my cowardly force do after they laid down their weapons to these rebels?
The messenger's hands trembled behind his back as his stoic face locked onto the king's ornate chair. He bowed, spreading his arms like a bird in flight.
I wasn't there to witness the results, sire. I carried only the message I was dispatched with. Do you want me to discover the fallout of the surrender?
No, there's nothing you can accomplish.
The king grumbled as he crumpled the missive in his fist. He flung the wadded paper at the messenger's face.
Cameron will locate these traitors.
The messenger ducked the parchment projectile while an advisor sitting close to the king interlaced her fingers and cleared her throat.
Your Majesty, I believe it would be best to collect any information that Baxter has before deciding on how to deal with these deserters. Consider the cost of dispatching another battalion to a captured keep.
The king's eyes narrowed as his lips trembled. He lifted his fingers from the ornately inlaid armrest of his throne, glancing toward the ceiling, as if the Spymaster could overhear him.
Baxter is troublesome enough during peaceful times, but when it comes to war, his riddles are unbearable.
Baxter is unique,
The advisor smiled and leaned toward the king.
but he's the best spymaster we've ever had.
I'm aware, Carrie,
Naaman struck his chair with both meaty fists.
but I won't deal with him if he's communicating with his spies. Go discover everything he's learned about these rebels and traitors.
Carrie rose, inclining her head, and flowed across the floor. She grabbed the messenger's arm and guided him from the meeting hall. When the door closed, she spun the fool around and slapped his face.
Why did you deliver that message straight to Naaman?
It's my job. Last I checked, you're just an advisor with no authority.
The messenger's gaze sharpened to a knife's edge as his fingers explored his reddening cheek. After a moment, he shoved his hands behind his back.
How would Naaman react if he learned you struck one of his messengers? I believe he's ordered protection for those carrying his commands.
True.
Carrie flicked the messenger's nose as her lips parted, displaying her canines. She thumped his chest with 2 fingers.
Unfortunately for you, Naaman never gave you the protection of a command. Never forget who your friends are, messenger.
Carrie spun on her heels and stormed down the hall. When she reached the nearest stairwell, she sighed and flew up the stairs. Upon reaching the door to the roof, she flung it open and stared at the man standing on the ledge, obscured by flapping butterflies, wings etched with heavy secrets, their markings whispering burdens. One landed atop an outstretched fingertip. He pulled it to his ear. She cleared her throat and marched toward him.
Baxter, I need your counsel.
Baxter raised his other hand and held up a finger at the interloper. When the butterfly launched from his finger, he turned around and bowed deeply.
To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit, Carrie?
Have your little
Carrie said as she gestured at the swarming butterflies.
eyes and ears heard anything regarding the incident with the Western Kingdom?
My agents flutter across the world, gathering every whisper and sight.
Baxter spun and inclined his head as another butterfly landed on his shoulder and inched closer to his ear. His mouth curled as he folded his hands. With a wan smile, he brushed a finger across his lips.
However, since you're aware of my agent's reach, I'll presume you want the specifics my informants have procured. Shall I assume Naaman wants the fate of the soldiers who surrendered to the rebels?
Carrie winced as she straightened her shoulders.
That is one of the answers he's seeking.
The Spymaster placed his finger beside the butterfly resting on his shoulder, letting the creature creep along its length. Baxter's hand drifted to his face as he studied the wings of the creature. He raised it, allowing the rest of his minions to flutter about it.
A force 3 times the battalion's size ambushed and surrounded our soldiers.
Are you saying the rebels outnumbered our forces?
Baxter tossed the butterfly into the air.
The only information I possess details their surrender, not its cause. However, before you condemn them, know that after surrendering, most have already regrouped. They've been scavenging what they can from the land to harry the massive force trying to sweep through the kingdom.
What's coming our way?
The rebels have bound orcs, goblins, and even trolls to their cause.
Baxter raised a finger as another messenger flitted to the perch. He brought the butterfly up to his ear and translated the message.
They're within a week's march of Colvin's Keep. His current defences will fall unless the king can bolster their walls with a pair of battalions.
What about the passes that don't cross Colvin's lands?
Baxter tossed the insect back into the air.
My informants have found no other military groups encroaching upon the king's territories.
Another of his spies landed on his shoulder, and he raised a hand.
At least nothing at present. The king will be the first person I contact if anything changes. Tell Naaman of the force marching on Colvin's keep. If it falls, nothing will stop these monsters from unleashing death across the kingdom.
He turned and lifted his arm, displaying half a dozen butterflies perched there.
And while I can detail the devastation, I'm unable to halt this avalanche.
Carrie bit her lip, spun around, grabbed the door's handle, and opened it, finding Naaman on the other side.
Sire, the Spymaster has grim news concerning Colvin's keep.
Naaman snarled and marched down the stairs, his voice echoing like thunder.
Cameron, I need every shred of your arcane knowledge and power.
With that, our story concludes. I hope you've enjoyed today's reprieve from your daily grind. If you like the vibe, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because every bit helps get this channel spread to those who require a momentary chance to unwind. I'll see you for the next tale, my friends.
Thanks for reaching the end of the video. But why not keep the rhythm going? Pick one of the videos on screen and settle in for another moment of escape. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe and tap the bell to get notified when new tales drop.